It lost its life in the process, however. Snakestaff sees a video showing the Bunyip fighting his Daleks. If there are any updates, I'll get in contact. Snakestaff looks at the device quietly. No, I can't believe it. The whole fleet, my Daleks, my mothership with the 10K cinema screen film room, the hot tub, it's all gone!
So you've been adding stuff to the Dalek ships to fit your liking.
yeah, they were I forget the word. They were made cooler. They were I really can't think of the word. They were pimped out rides. There we go.
There we go.
Snakestaff stands there quietly while Sour Powder and Venus look unhappy about the losses. Snakestaff looks at the device again, seeing the other message is there to read still. Snakestaff sighs and clicks on the other message. He is greeted by the flashing message that says Emergency Program Alpha activated. Snakestaff looks at it for a few seconds, and then a grin forms on his face. We see Sour Powder and Venus still look defeated, but then look astonished as they hear Snakestaff chuckling. This is perfect! The ship mainframe was compromised. You know what that means? It means that in my absence, some crazy villain or another got a hold of my ships and altered my Daleks to make them loyal to him.
So that would be Davros, I'm guessing?
Yes, that would be Davros. And, would Davros ever make an appearance again? Who knows? Who can tell? But
yeah, there is
his role for.
Yeah, there is the slight possibility we might see Davros and the Daleks again at some point, but it's up in the air currently.
I will say this is just seeing as this is a behind-the-scenes sort of discussion. I felt like Chapter 6 was absolutely amazing, but it was getting to a point where I didn't want to keep using Daleks because I ran the risk of maybe copyright stuff because I know what it can be like with them. So they were written out. They were basically written out of the story, but I wanted to do it in a cool way. So that's one of the reasons I don't have them anymore. But it makes the future interesting because what is Snakestaff going to do now?
Didn't think the music is definitely more likely to be targeted than simple images, unless they're like stuff that YouTube really doesn't approve of. Then I guess you can just post whatever images you feel like would be good. But anyway, I see why you did it.
It still works well for the story. I think it's still going to be cool either way. I wasn't mainly worried about that. It was also a good opportunity for what's to come. So
yeah.
As this is being said, a flashback to Davros moving to the left plays. Now that I think about it, my Daleks were showing some signs of skepticism. We see flashbacks to the moments that Dalek 1 and the others questioned Snakestaff's methods. By going on the attack, Fresh has, to his credit, saved the world from an incredible danger, but has also done us three a big favour. Those half-wit Daleks, those traitors. Sarah and Venus exchange a look and then smile wickedly, feeling the same way as Snakestaff. Now it's time for me to try something new. Snakestaff approaches the book on the stand. Before the battle with Fresh, I did a lot of heavy research into magical legends and powers, and found one story detailing something that I think we can use. However, before we go to it, there is something else I discovered during my research that we have to investigate first. Thus, I'm going to have to initiate the portal plan. Snakestaff turns a couple more pages. In our galaxy there is a portal that allows you to travel anywhere you want, including through time. It only allows the user to have 2 return trips, and I believe I've found its location.
Well, so this portal idea, is this an original thing of yours?
It is an original idea.
Oh.
That means it could be anything. You
Okay.
don't know what's gonna happen.
By 2 return trips, do you mean you can go back and forth and that's it, or back and forth, and forth?
Yeah, so 2 return... I need... because this has put me in a position where when I write the next parts, I need to think about it, because sometimes I look at it and I'm like, should it have been 2 or 3, but I think 2 was correct. But yeah, it's 2 return trips. So I could go back in time, hypothetically, then come back forward. That would be 1 return trip.
Okay.
And I get 2 of them. So, yeah.
Interesting.
We can use that portal to help me do the investigation I need to. Thankfully, I have enough teleportation magic left in my staff to send us through to the portal's location. Let's go. Snakestaff, Sour Powder, and Venus stand close together, and Snakestaff uses his staff to teleport them away. So the key thing to take from that is he's going to use the return trips for his investigation before he initiates the plan that he's planning to do.
Okay,
but one thing, I did sort of tease it a little bit in the cards I sent you, because one thing Vicky says to you in those cards was about time travel, if you'll recall that. Because Vicky says, oh, just thought I'd mention, like, we're messaging you because Snakestaff's been able to travel through time, and and it's like, it was a very early hint to the Vicky side of things.
Interesting. Like, as for me, like, I've tried not to dive into, like, time travel stuff because I don't want things to get too complicated, so let's just have it set in the present, just do what we can, and depending on what you do with Chapter 9 and its 3 parts, then we'll see how things go.
Well, the way I've done it isn't going to be complicated to follow, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
We cut to the planet Saturn and zoom in on it. Snakestaff, Sour Powder, and Venus appear in the centre of a town. Snakestaff begins to speak. Okay, this is the place where the 3 of them suddenly become aware of their surroundings and are shocked. The entirety of the town is paying tribute to Fresh Powder. The stalls are selling fresh merch. The walls have posters for a retelling of a Chapter 6 The Duel movie that plays all year round, featuring Fresh Powder.
Well, apparently everyone on Saturn loves me.
Yeah, it sounded, there was a bit of confusion whether I meant Saturn, wasn't there? Like, a bit early on. Or
No, you said
planet. It. Yes, everyone on Saturn loves you. Like, there was... Dan did do me a load of Fresh Powder merch images and stuff, which I still have. So I've got a load of stuff to use if I ever did go to merch.
Yeah, I made quite a few things, like 2D drawings of like mugs and t-shirts and plushies and pop vinyl figures. So that's all, currently that's all unused stuff. So depending on whether this chapter actually does become finalized eventually, then you'll probably see them then.
Yeah, well, I guess if they don't, there's always an opportunity for an unused showcase.
Yeah.
Which could be nice. The citizens of the town are small blue beings that have small arms and no feet, sliding along the ground. Children can be seen nearby, holding balloons and wearing t-shirts with Fresh Powder's face on them.
So yeah, you basically just described what these little Saturn people are looking like.
Yeah. So you thought the burger cook and the mechanic were basic looking. And I was there thinking, so I can fully tell you now, because it's a behind the scenes video, the inspiration for them is Blue from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Right.
So basically that's what they all would have looked like. They would have looked like blue things with no feet, but they've all got like different hairstyles and clothes and things like that.
How come?
So, it was just, I never actually watched Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, but when I was thinking about how I wanted these characters to look like, I was like, they kind of look like Blue, actually, so I thought I'd add that as a little fact, and it was something that came up.
I see.
A huge letter sign can be seen above a building. Freshville. Snakestaff stands nervously alongside Sour Powder and Venus. Snakestaff speaks. Houston, we have her not in Kansas anymore.
Obvious Wizard of Oz joke is obvious.
Yeah, I thought no one's ever done Houston, we have a problem, and we're not in Kansas anymore together, so I thought that would be fun
Yeah.
to use. Calling it Freshfield was pretty funny because a bunch of times I had to go, has he used Freshfield? I know he has Freshberg, but I was like, no,
Yeah, like Perdupia, Powder Pelago, Freshberg. You just had to find one that was not used yet.
So, what are your visions for where it can go from here? Because I know I've pointed out Snakestaff has now ended up in the midst of Fresh Powder fans. I think Michael is very much convinced a slaughter is in order, but I don't think that will be quite the case.
Well, just from the details you've told me up till now, I think Chapter 9, you, Sarah Powder, and Venus are going to be trying to find the portal, but something happens where the two of them end up perishing, but in doing so, they accomplish their mission in getting you where you need to be and such in preparation for Chapter 10. But still, it's just a guess.
Yes, well, I guess we'll see, because I've written some of the next part, because I know what I want to do with it. It's going to be interesting translating that into an audio, because there's quite a lot of talking in the next one.
Oh boy.
But Chapter 9 will be 3 parts.
Yeah.
So just to confirm that to people who are listening.
So yeah, until Chapter 9 and its 3 parts come out, thank you for listening, and we'll see you for the next chapters.
Yep, see you guys soon.
See ya!